Bacalo Papito, and we'll be back with another video. Today we're going to be doing another podcast, and there's a lot of stuff that is going on in a lot of sports, like the Bradley Beal trade rumors that are going on right now, Ron Rivera fighting cancer, and the Super Bowl is about to happen in a few weeks, so we have to get ready for that, and we have to show our opinions for this. So first, let's start off with the best story of the day, and that was Ron Rivera beating cancer for the final time. He played through this whole, not played, but he definitely coached through this whole season, and he got the football team into the playoffs even if they were looking like they were going to be bottom of the division. Like, that is some serious commitment, and I think he needs to get the credit he deserves. What are your thoughts about this, sir?
Yeah, I haven't heard about this until very recently, but definitely remarkable what he did.
Yeah. So, and then after this, like, yes, today I described the Bradley Beal trade rumors on this channel. If you ever want to see the video, I will put a card on it, and it will be there soon. And I was thinking, do you actually think he's gonna go leave, or do you think they'll ask for too much of a trade package, or and he can't get traded?
It's getting to the point where he got drafted by them. I don't know exactly when, but I think it was 5 years ago.
It
And
was
he's been just
7.
he's been playing at his best, scoring all NBA numbers, and the front office is just doing nothing for him. And they're not making any moves for trades. They're dumping off players like John Wall, adding a washed Russell Westbrook. I just think there's nothing, no good picks, nothing the Washington Wizards front office is doing for him. And I think it's no one would be mad if he just wrapped it up and said I'm gone.
Not even any Washington Wizards fan, because of course we all know that the roster right now is so bad right now because of all the injuries and everything that's going on, and we know that this is basically a G League roster plus Bradley Beal right
Pretty
now,
much.
because they had to sign Jordan Bell and Alex Len to their roster because of injuries. And Russell Westbrook, like you said, he's washed. He doesn't have the same athleticism as he once did in Oklahoma. Of course, they got finessed. It was John Wall and a second rounder for Russell Westbrook. And what else? They didn't even improve their defense, which was ridiculous. Like, you drafted Danny Advia. That's a pretty good. That's a good pick for number 9. Like, you stole someone who could have been in top 5.
For
But
sure.
but the whole point was to get defense on the offseason. And I think the Wizards already knew this problem was going on, because last year their defense was pretty terrible, and looks like they didn't really do much. I mean, all they did was re-sign Davis Bertans, sign Danny Advia from the draft, and they got Russell Westbrook, which is washed, and he turns over the ball a lot. And right now, I get it. No one should be mad if Beal decides he needs to leave, because those numbers are like almost godlike numbers. Because if you score 35 points a game, it can only signify two things. One, you're a very good player, or two, your team is trash besides you. And if you do that like every game, where he already scored 47 yesterday and still lost, like, there is some serious problems that went on in this organization, and I think they either need to fix it right now, or they need to get rid of him while they can, and can get a lot of draft picks for him. All right. So, as we know, Super Bowl is going to happen in a few weeks, and it doesn't stop from Bruce Arians to make a lot of comments about Patrick Mahomes and whether he can catch up to Tom Brady's records, or just who will win the Super Bowl and why. And it makes me think that let's say that everyone was healthy. Like, we have Rob Gronkowski back from injury. We have Antoine Winfield Jr., because those are two of the better players on the Buccaneers right now. And the Chiefs get back Le'Veon Bell and Sammy Watkins from injury. Who do you think actually wins this one, and why?
This is a really tough one because you want to go and say the Buccaneers had a great playoff run. They beat the Saints, who were one of the favorites for the Super Bowl. They beat the Packers. They showed up, but the Chiefs remain the Chiefs. Number one offense in the league, have a decent defense,
Decent enough.
and yeah, I mean, I can imagine Mahomes just coming out and passing for 500 yards.
Oh, that's bold. That's pretty bold though.
It's a
That
bold prediction, but you know that last time they played, Tyreek Hill had that I think he had like
ridiculous game.
216 yards in the first quarter or something like that.
That was ridiculous. But do you think Scotty Miller can beat Tyreek Hill in a race?
No, absolutely not.
Why
0%
not?
chance. I don't
Come
know.
on,
I
man.
just think
He's
Tyreek Hill is the fastest, one of the fastest 40-yard dashes.
yep. Ah,
So
if
just
only John Ross
it's.
could be like Tyreek Hill right now. But that's beside the point.
I think he's faster than him too.
That's ridiculous cap. And
I think no.
John
John Ross is
Ross
a
runs
faster.
faster than Tyreek Hill. You
Yeah,
moron.
that's what I said.
Yeah. Uh, all right. Back to it.
4.22
I
40-yard
do think
dash.
that. You know what? I do think the Chiefs' defense has a decent shot. They have one of the best defensive lines, and getting Vita Vea to help out with their run defense is a major plus. Like you probably need him for the Super Bowl because Le'Veon Bell. I still see that he has at least top 10 running back potential. I still see it in him because 2 years is not. I think 2 years is not enough time to completely make someone lose their game like that.
Yeah.
But Clyde Edwards-Helaire is one of the more electrifying rookie running backs of this class. And this class wasn't short of any like first round talent in running backs because they were mostly very, very good. But the defense for the Buccaneers needs to step up. Their pass defense. Like Sean Murphy Bunting has had a very good postseason. He's been a very, very good ball hawk. He's been like in and out, and he's been intercepting a lot of passes. He's intercepted a ball in each of the games that they played in the playoffs. And Carlton Davis, on the other hand, he held Devontae Adams to low numbers and Michael Thomas to nothing. And Michael Thomas still has the audacity to like trash talk in his face. Michael Thomas, you got your ass beat, so shut up and sit down. But we know the offense is jam packed. Like these are two of the most loaded offenses, and of course, if it was prime, everyone in their prime, of course the Buccaneers are winning this game. But since we are the way they are, it's a very, very close match, and I do think that the Chiefs might win. They have a better shot in my eyes to win this than the Buccaneers do. I hate to admit it, but it's true because I
Yeah,
hate
the
dynasties.
Chiefs. The
Honestly,
Chiefs are the obvious favorite.
hey, if you don't want to speak too fast.
No, they're the obvious favorite. No matter
That's
what
true.
happens in the game, people are expecting the Chiefs to win.
Who are your MVP picks for this one?
For the game or for
Yeah,
the season?
for the game. The season's obvious. Aaron Rodgers is winning MVP
Season,
any
sadly,
day.
it's obvious. I can't believe they're gonna give MVP to a guy who literally like just played like ass in the divisional round or in the championship
What?
round. But I mean,
What?
he had a good, regular
Wait.
season.
Rewind that. Rewind that.
He played
Slow.
horrible in the divisional game.
Are you
In
in
the
the championship game? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
He threw a pick. You don't throw picks in championship games.
Did you not see how the pick happened? It was a holding call. It was a missed holding call. He literally grabbed on his shirt and tugged him back, and of
And
course
he
Sean Murphy-
almost threw two picks in the divisional round against the Rams. Two
So
drop picks.
so does 51 total touchdowns speak MVP form to you? Yes.
I'm
Then
just saying
good
MVP
job.
is structured weird because if you're this is basically I'm asking you this question. If you are right now an NFL GM and you had the choice between any QB you had to get, but the only two QBs you could get are or three, Josh Allen, Mahomes, or Rodgers, who do you pick?
Mahomes right now, but here.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
what I'm
MVP is
saying.
on what they did in the field.
Sure. Yeah.
Otherwise, Mahomes would have won MVP last year. You doofus.
Whoa. Take it easy.
Like, if you're structuring it off of that, last year, then what you're saying is you'd rather have. Most people would rather have Mahomes last year,
Yeah.
and therefore he should be winning MVP, even
Yes.
if Lamar Jackson had a way better season than him.
Sure. Yeah.
And then for Aaron Rodgers, he threw 5 picks, 48 touchdowns. And just because Patrick Mahomes will be a better QB in 5 years' time, that does not make him MVP yet.
That's
If
not
he
what I'm
played,
saying.
if he did put up Aaron Rodgers type of numbers, yes. Aaron Rodgers type of numbers this season, yes, he would have won MVP. But I'm sorry, man. Whatever nonsense that came out of your mouth, that needs to stop there.
The only nonsense that happened this season is people thinking Russell Wilson could win MVP.
He could have. Well,
No, he could not have. No, he's never
and
going to
then
win MVP.
he won't win MVP. That's a
He will
guarantee.
never win MVP.
I've took it took me a very
Sadly.
very long time to finally admit that he won't win MVP. It took me way too long, but that's beside the point. I'm so happy though. We got an offensive coordinator that is not like one dimensional, and we got Shane Waldron, the dude from the Rams. He's gonna be so good. We have already have Seahawks fans raving about his hiring because he does all the stuff that Pete Carroll wants, and then he also wants to implement the style that would make DK Metcalf and Ty Lockett such good receivers throwing the deep ball. Then they want to do a lot of run game. They want to like keep the opponents guessing, and that's the reason why Seattle kind of got destroyed, and they couldn't score points late in the season because they're so predictable.
Yeah, they also have a tough conference. Two teams that are better than them is difficult.
Okay, okay, okay. I get
It's
it.
tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I'm not gonna deny it.
All right, bandwagon.
I'm not gonna deny it. It's a tough situation. Anyways, do you want to stay on the football train, or do you want to go back to the Bradley Beal? I had something to say about that.
I think. Do you have anything to say on the Bradley Beal thing? I think I've said my point.
There
And
is links to Bradley Beal potentially going to either LA team.
yeah, I saw this. I
What do you
did
think
see
about that?
this. Now, the players that they said they might have to give up on the Lakers part, I heard KCP must have to be in this trade. Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder would have to be in this trade in order
It
to
would look
actually
like
get
those
Bradley Beal.
three, and then the 2026 first round pick would make it.
I don't
Would be a
think
reasonable trade.
I don't think the Lakers will not the Lakers. Lakers will take this happily and just run away. Finesse. They'll be like, we finessed you, you little shit. But if you were the Wizards, you'd be asking for a bit more than Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell,
No, I think
and
that's great. Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Hill, and a first round pick,
and KCP.
and KCP. I think that's great. I'll take that.
That's just a waste of money, honestly. I know Dennis Schroeder's a very, very good player.
They're
And he
all
was
three
one of
pretty
the
good
best
players.
six man last year.
Yeah.
Montrezl Harrell was the best six man last year. Cool, you got that. But that, do you think that will actually be a thing that will help him win the championship? I think. See, the
No, I think
Wizards.
that's a horrible move for the Lakers. The Wizards are 100% winning that trade.
No, 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 no.
Yes, yes, yes.
See, the
yes, yes.
Wizard. See, you're not going to win a championship alone with Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, and Montrezl Harrell. Let's start from there.
No,
You
you're not.
might need- no,
But
you
you're not
might
gonna
need to
win.
start
You're not
from
gonna win it
scratch.
with Westbrook and Beal either.
What?
Okay, go.
You're
Look,
kidding me, man.
what do you? How could this even be debatable? Look at the Wizards' record right now in the NBA
Yeah, but
with
you need to trade. But if you want, see, you need to get draft picks that will result in very very valuable prospects.
Lakers
I don't see
2026.
Dennis Schroeder is already like 27, 28. He's not going to be a piece that's going to help you win a championship. Ultimately, a rebuild is a long-term process to win a championship. What Dennis Schroeder will be is a placeholder, and you don't want if you're trading away a player as valuable as Bradley Beal, you don't need a placeholder. You need something in 5 years' time you can manifest to become one of the world's best players in this sport or anything, or something very valuable or like that. I know Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell are very valuable now, but they're not going for now. They're going for later, and I don't think that that's the right deal for them to make.
That's a fair point. I agree. I just think the Lakers should just keep with what they have. They're doing good.
And and
They're
also
only gonna
on the
do better.
Clippers end, they're giving up even more. They're giving up worse players. They have to give up at least Marcus Morris, Serge Ibaka, and Patrick Beverly. Now, if
Horrible
you're
trade.
Wizards, you
Horrible.
run away.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Nope. Nope. Nope.
You
nope,
don't even
nope.
touch that. You'll be like, I'm off. Like,
I'm off on the Wizards end, and I'm off on the Clippers end.
no, if you're the Clippers and you
No,
trade
no,
those
no,
three
no, no,
pieces
no,
of
no.
cow muck for Bradley Beal,
Oh, okay.
you'd won the lottery. If you're the Wizards, you'll be like, why have we ended up with cow shit? instead of like a
No,
Lamborghini.
you can't. You gotta watch some Clippers basketball if you think Ibaka is that.
He's
Ibaka's a
not
great.
bad, but he's not
No,
valuable enough.
okay.
Those three are not nearly
The
valuable enough
Clippers
to.
should not
I
make
know
that
Serge
trade.
Ibaka is a very good player and he's a very good personality in the locker room, but those three players are not nearly as valuable as Bradley Beal would be a third
But
option on that team.
a single Bradley Beal is a single player. They have good chemistry with Ibaka and Leonard. They have good defense with Patrick Beverly. They have a well structured team that's performing well. They're first in the Western Conference.
They are performing
Why would you
well.
need to rock your team, rock your chemistry, take a big chance at ruining everything when your team is doing great?
Bradley Beal's not a cancer to a locker room like James
No,
Harden
but
can be.
just the fact separating an entire team and breaking them apart and making a blockbuster trade. And who knows? Brooklyn is doing okay right now, but who knows what'll happen if once they get to the playoffs? You know, like
You're
a
right, but
three
still,
Bradley Beal, Paul George, and Kawhi. Kawhi and Paul George is already a lot of load for the other players.
they already have a lot of love.
Lou
But
Williams,
don't tell
yeah,
me
I don't know.
they would take this deal in a heartbeat and run away like that. I think they would benefit
I would have
from
to
this deal.
consider it if I were
I
the
think
Clippers
LA
GM.
needs scoring, and Bradley Beal
Yeah,
would completely fix that. He would,
yeah,
and also he's not a selfish player like what Russell Westbrook is. Because hear me
sure.
out. The only reason Bradley Beal has this much points, like he will score like 25, 30 points when he's in LA if he ever goes there. But
Hmm.
that's because there's no one else to even like help him.
Yeah,
Because he can
Washington,
make he is a playmaker. He can make plays for others and he can make plays for himself. That's what he really does well. And I think if you can apply that with good chemistry with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, I think it can all mesh. Like if you
yeah,
have three cancers, okay, maybe not me Kevin Durant maybe not a cancer, but if you have three people who are too satisfied with their egos, like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden are, then you're not going to go anywhere. But those three I'm talking about are not as like what do you call it, concerned about their egos or paycheck or anything because they're all settled and they all feel good. And adding a third superstar, sure you might take a little bit of chemistry away because Serge Ibaka is one of the funniest people I've seen in the NBA community. One of the funniest stuff. You should check out his YouTube channel. He
I have
makes
seen some of his videos.
his cooking with Ibaka is so funny though. But
Cooking snake for Kevin Durant.
ah, okay, but still, I think this is a trade that the Clippers would do in a heartbeat, and the Wizards
Sure.
would probably just run away from.
What you have to realize though is that at the end of this year, Bradley Beal has a $36 million player option. You need to take that into
And
account.
eh, yeah, but he's in his prime. I don't
But
think
that
you say
means
no to that. I don't think you say no to that.
no, you don't
On
say no to that.
on
The
his
Clippers
day,
are gonna have to
on his day,
the
he
Clippers
is
are
a
gonna have
better
to
shooting.
seriously restructure.
All right, hear me out.
Seriously
On
restructure.
his day, he is a better shooting guard than Klay Thompson is.
Disagree. In his prime,
In on no on Bradley Beal's prime. He is
He's a better shooter than Klay Thompson in his prime.
no. I'm not shooting. No, I'm not saying shooter. A shooting guard.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Klay Thompson's a much better shooter, but
Sure.
yes,
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
like Klay Thompson shoots above average for his position,
Yeah.
and Bradley Beal's a high volume shooter.
Yeah. Bradley Beal is what you call a garbage shooter.
He's not garbage. He's around average,
What you
35%
call
three
what you
point
call a
and
garbage
forty eight
shooter is just a
percent
guy. It's just a guy
field
who
goal
puts up
accuracy.
50 shots a game.
Huh?
He just puts up every shot his team gives him, and then he just
But
gets a
he's
lot of points.
but the fact that he puts up those numbers and still loses, that's kind of sad. But
Yeah, it is.
it doesn't take away from his value as a very very good shooter. Like someone who
Sure.
can make a lot of plays for himself. That's the main part. If he can make it for himself, then he can shoot the ball and he will score.
All right. Next topic. Now that we have overviewed that, let's talk Deshaun Watson. What are your
Deshaun Watson.
opinions?
I nearly threw my phone in anger when I heard that the Jets were his preferred destination. Like, if you want to look at one team that is pigeon shit to another team, you're talking about the Texans and Jets. Like, you're gonna at least have to give up that number two pick and the number 2 pick won't even be enough if you want to get Deshaun Watson. A lot will have to go in this trade if they actually want to prize him away. And what team do you think he's going to?
So he said his preferred destination are three crappy teams. Jets. Well, I guess Dolphins are actually pretty good.
Dolphins are pretty. They're going to make.
But there
the
was
playoffs.
also news that he is interested in the Carolina Panthers, which
I
think
think
would
it's
be a
more the
great
other way around.
destination
I
for
think the
him.
Panthers are more interested in him than he's interested in the Panthers.
Yep. My bad. I read
Like,
that wrong.
what I heard today was that they're going to make a very aggressive push to get Deshaun Watson. It's not a bad idea as long as you can actually improve your team around him.
I just don't know. If you look at it one way or another, I don't know how this can end up being a win-win. Like if he ends up in Carolina, they're gonna have to give up a lot for him.
They're going to have to give up
Not enough to make the Texans good. If he goes to the Jets, they're gonna have to give a lot up for him. Not enough to make the Texans good. If
The
he goes
Dolphins
to
are the
if
only
he
team
goes to
I can actually see
Miami,
him being happy at.
if he goes to Miami, they're gonna
Then
have
they
to give
lose
up
to
a lot
Otago
for
Vailoa.
him, but not enough for the Texans to be good. So either way, I think he's gonna go to a mildly good team who's probably gonna do mildly good, potentially go to the playoffs. Never gonna make a deep playoff push, I believe, and the Texans are not gonna get anything for him.
Yeah.
Now, if they
And
hold him and refuse to trade him, they
then
can
he's
find him
gonna
a
hold
50.
out. Let's be honest here. He's gonna hold out on them.
No, if the owner refuses to trade him, and he doesn't come and play, they can fine him $50K a day, up to 21 mil of his contract.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but
They
even if they
know they
trade
have
him,
to trade him. I think otherwise the negativity in that locker room will start to spread around.
sure,
If
yeah,
if they don't trade him anytime like before training camp or before the preseason starts, they need to get him rid of him during that window, that time frame.
but look at it this way: if they refuse to trade him and fine him 21 mil, that is gonna be cancerous for the locker room. But if he leaves, it also tells other players, yeah, if I don't like, I can just get out of here. And that's not a thing the owner wants, to have a reputation of letting people go.
Yeah, but again, Jack. We all know what Andre Johnson said about Jack Easterby, someone who
Yeah.
wastes career, and we all know what J.J. Watt said about him. Deshaun Watson, like, sorry, you wasted a year.
Yeah.
We all know that it's gonna come together, and it's all gonna make one big storyline. And the Dolphins, of course, they will have to give up at least to Otago Vailoa. Maybe the Dolphins should take it because people don't believe in Tua Tagovailoa for some insane reason. Like, of course, he was probably the most talented QB in that draft class. Like, he was gonna go number one.
That might be a stretch.
That's not a stretch. If he didn't
That
get
might be a
injured, he was
stretch.
going number one overall.
Mm,
He had the best arm in that draft. Let's
okay,
be honest.
okay.
He had the best arm in that draft.
Let's see Joe Burrow play some football next year, and we
Let's
can
do it.
we can
Let's
talk
see
about
it.
this
I
again.
want to see him play. But the Bengals, please do something. Please do something.
Dude, they're
Help.
getting another good pick this year. So
They're
I
getting
think,
the fourth pick, but they might need to even trade up to the second pick if the Jets do get a Penei Sewell, they need to trade for him because Penei Sewell is everything that the Bengals need. Why do you think Joe Burrow is getting injured? On top of that, he has one of the faster release times of the NFL. If we were looking at stats, like the Bengals were even like, why aren't you throwing it faster? Like what? What do you mean? He has one of the fastest release times in the NFL. And it's not his fault that the offensive line is terrible. I mean, of course, the Bengals are a franchise for the last like 3 or 4 years that have been in a terrible hole. And ever since not making a deep postseason run, they are just down and getting destroyed. And all their players are just like revolting, basically. Carlos Dunlap revolted. AJ Green, we all know, was like, let's leave. Andy Dalton stopped playing well, and yeah, the Bengals are we're in a never-ending downward spiral. But I think Joe Burrow is the start of something special, even though he's already 24 years old, which
he's
is kind of
24.
yeah, he's 24.
I'm gonna fact check that real
He's
quick.
older than Lamar Jackson, if you were wondering.
I'm gonna fact check that real quick. Joe Burrow was born December 10th, 1966. 24 years old.
1996.
24 years old. 1996. Yeah, 1966.
Jesus Christ.
He is older than Lamar Jackson by about 3 months.
Ridiculous. And to think they were drafted 2 years apart.
Or wait, no, like a year, I think. Never mind. I don't know.
Wow.
I think the Bengals ended up making a good pick either way. He's 24, but Mahomes is 25, and he's playing like he's 21. So
Yeah, but Mahomes was also drafted in 2017. Yes.
I mean, also Josh Allen is 24. It's the beginning of his career right now. Deshaun Watson's 25. It's going to be the beginning of his career.
In the last 20 years, do you think the 2017 draft class, in terms of QBs only, quarterbacks,
Sure, yeah.
was one of the best in the league?
So remind me, we had Mahomes, obviously.
We had Mahomes and we had Deshaun Watson.
Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton, what are you on?
No, it wasn't Andy Dalton. It was
If you want to say Mitch Trubisky, you can always say that.
I was gonna say Mitch Trubisky. I was thinking of him, and I thought also.
Also 2018 was a very, very good draft.
I thought the guy in the Giants was also picked that year.
Who? Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones was picked in 2019.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up. Sorry.
That's fine. Also, 2018 was a very good draft class for QBs. That draft class had the likes of Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Sam Darnold is going to be good at some time, very, very soon.
Oh yeah, Sam Darnold was in that draft class too, right?
In 2018, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Josh Rosen because I feel bad for his career.
No, Rosen, you can't say anything.
I feel really bad that this is the career he got because for what they put him through, like no first round QB deserves that. Like if you get moved on from one season into your career, then something is wrong. Something is very wrong there. I know that we what's the name? Kyler Murray is a very, very good QB and they were right to pick him, but give Josh Rosen a more humane ending than trading him for a second round pick.
Oh yeah, that was so bad. I don't even want to. That's just depressing.
I might even make a video on that, like just Josh Rosen's.
Yeah, you should.
That in itself deserves a video.
Yep, agreed.
Did someone?
So you got anything?
Did Josh Rosen kill someone's cat or something? What did he do wrong? Is it because he had a bad QB mentor in terms of a washed-up Sam Bradford?
I think they just probably didn't see anything in him.
That overpaid fuckface. Paid $15 million for 1 year. 1 year, $15 million contract he was signed to by the Cardinals when they knew he was no good anymore. He wasn't even great in his career. Wow. It just makes me mad just to think of what happened to Josh Rosen. I feel like he would actually do a very good job on the 49ers if he was given the chance to. But as we know, the 49ers have not been very good at QB recruitment.
No, not at all. I wanted to give us a chance to look at the NBA standings and let's look at some low teams and talk about why potentially they're doing so bad and how shocking this is. So,
all right. Should we start off with the Timberwolves?
I think that's expected if you want. 4-13.
There is some degree to it.
4-13, 23.5% win percentage. What do you think of the Minnesota Timberwolves?
They're just injured. They're just an injury-prone team. Their two best players are gone, which were D'Angelo Russell and Cat, which is
D'Lo's hurt. I didn't know that.
D'Lo, yeah, they've been playing Ricky Rubio the past few games.
Oh yeah.
No humane person needs to see Ricky Rubio shoot a ball. Like that's not okay.
Very
like
true.
Their best player on the court, I don't even know. It's probably Anthony Edwards the way they've been playing.
Yep, agreed.
Probably, and then they need to trade. They need to trade. They need to trade him and Jarrett Culver. Not Anthony Edwards, but they need to trade Jarrett Culver and maybe even Karl Anthony Towns because he's gonna get frustrated at some point. Let's start there. He's gonna get frustrated, and then he's gonna be like, if I'm such a good player and I'm playing on such a shit team, then why am I here in the first place?
They need to make sure that they can time long time before they start doing anything stupid.
Yeah. All right.
They need to keep him there a long time. So next team, next spot in the Western Conference, the Pelicans, 6-10 with a 37.51 percentage.
Their players have just been underwhelming. I think their coach is fine. He plays slow paced the tempo and yeah, Lonzo Ball has not been up to standard. JJ Redick has had a slow start, and Josh Art, and they've been dealt with injuries, and of course the Drew Holiday trade hurts. Zion Williamson's still been playing good though. That's a 1+. Like, at least there's hope for him if no one else is playing good. And I've been hearing rumors that the Warriors might be trading Kelly Oubre for Lonzo Ball, which is ridiculous. Kelly Oubre's been in fine form. Kelly Oubre's been in good form the past few games. He's been showing what he's like. Why the Warriors traded a first round to get him. Last year he averaged around 19 points and a few assists and rebounds. He's still averaging around 11 points. Of course, that's because of his slow start. But he's been playing some very good defense. He's been giving attitude to the Warriors, which helps them on the court. And of course, the fans envy him for maybe his looks, but we can talk about that later.
No, let's not talk about that later.
All right, but yeah.
Well, anyways, I have one more team for you: the Miami Heat, 6-12.
All right, I'm gonna nip this in the bud, and I'm gonna speak throughout the whole Miami Heat organization. I like your uniforms. Your blue, your cotton candy looking uniforms are fire, but injuries have been killing them. Tyler Hero isn't playing right now because he's injured. Goran Dragic is injured. Bam Adebayo has been injured for a long time. Jimmy Butler is not playing right now because he's injured. Like, who's their starting point guard? Like, Gabe Vincent and KZ Okpala. Like, no. Those.
Yeah. Okay.
Those. I know Gabe Vincent having a decent year for a backup point guard, but they're right now so threadbare, and I do think that maybe you can, like, I don't know, sign a few more players to provide depth. Pray to God that they at least get their players back because they're a very good team, and they were one of the teams I mentioned in the video that could try to get Bradley Beal, but it could happen. But I do see at least one or two main players go. Not Bam Adebayo. That is a guarantee. No. I see their number one their draft pick of this year, Precious Achiuwa, going if they do eventually trade for Bradley Beal. If you know who Precious Achiuwa is.
I do. They should make a push for that.
I do like Precious Achiuwa, and yeah. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but
I don't think you are, but I think it's pretty difficult too.
I'm trying to pronounce it the way that it's spelled. But
fair enough.
Yeah, but they've just been hit by injuries. Like Eric Spoelstra, keep him on board. He's probably your best bet right now. And if injuries go better next time, like the next 10-15 games, then you can look ahead and you can actually win some games and make the playoffs.
Yep. All right, so what we can take away.
What are your biggest surprises, real quick? I want to know.
Those were my three.
Biggest surprises?
Of the NBA, yeah.
My biggest surprises were Luguentz, Dort, and the fact that the Thunders
NBA players. Yeah.
And the whole Thunders team just being so good right now.
Yeah.
So
my team,
they were trying to tank. What the hell?
Got smacked by them. Smacked. And that didn't feel good.
Another player that's been surprising me. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. I think Domantas Sabonis, because
I was going to say that.
Domantas Sabonis has made such a big impact. I knew he was such a good player, But he took a next level with that, and he's been playing like a top 10 NBA player. I'm not saying
I
he
think
is, but I'm saying he's been
no,
playing
he's
like one.
not. But I think he's surprising us because we never gave him the the
Chance.
praise he deserved, and
Yeah.
he's finally showing us that he deserves that praise.
And my last player is going to be Julius Randle. Julius Randle,
Yeah,
my God.
that's an obvious.
He he's
He's
been
wrecking it.
carrying this Knicks team, and for some reason, like the Knicks actually drafted pretty well. Like Emmanuel Quickly has been a very good draft pick
And
for
Toppin,
how low they drafted him. He's been very
Obi
good.
Toppin has been legendary too.
Obi Toppin, I mean, he's been hit by a few injuries, but he will be very good.
I mean,
I
I
can
think he's just an
imagine.
all around guy. He's gonna be there scoring 20 a game.
Obi Toppin. All right. To cap it all off, as we saw, like Bradley Beal needs to leave for the sake of his career. Miami, keep calm. I think Eric Spoelstra is the best player, your best manager in the bet, and of course, the Super Bowl is gonna happen in 2 weeks, and I'm pumped for this. And
Yeah.
if you want to see more podcasts like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on to the next video. And
Peace out.
peace.